everything from hand-to-hand combat to cleaning my anus and clipping my toenails. Plus round-the-clock surveillance, just in case my heart fails again. I think we're friends in our relations, but if they talk out of line, then I order a replacement. More rooms in my mansion than acquaintances. I have a passion for the quaint, plus a campaign to elect me as a saint. Forget Mother Teresa, start a foundation. It's straight in the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I select quail, it's my favorite form of meat, at least I used to. Back in the days when I could eat solid food, now I'm nourished through the use of intravenous. Have about a billion reasons to accept me as a genius, card-carrying member of my own secret society. I need shock treatments for anxiety. It seems my circle of friends has steadily shrunk, but temptation's all around. It's hard to live the life of a monk. See, I can afford to be offensive. I built a golf course for display, even though I don't know how to play. Life's been great since the day of Daddy's accident, and I was acquitted due to insufficient evidence. I'm better than you, so don't bother with comparisons and leave me alone to spend my inheritance in peace. It's like you live life in excess. It's like you live life in excess. It's like you live life in excess.
Yes, this is McEnroe from Peanuts and Corn Records, calling for YY. Yai. Is that German? Anyway, I'm calling regarding your new recording coming out on Peanuts and Corn Records. We were sitting around the office here, giving it a listen. Not bad, son. Not bad. Only problem is, it's a little heady, wouldn't you say? A little bit over the heads of the average young individual who purchases records. You gotta aim a little lower, my friend. Go back to the lab and dumb it down.
I know rap well, says it likes to be first. Keep it from going downhill and add the vice to my verse. I'm nice with my words, then I hope for its help. Try to open its health, till it's open itself. Keep it together. Unless you hate it, then who better to hear it? Move it, steer it, and leave the lyrics stupider. Pack it up, cause this is it. No one that listened 3 years ago would give a shit.
Don't try to find an audience without a retention plan. You have to take aim for the average attention span. Keep the song short and choruses infectious, and remember, no one hums a tune that only perplexes them. Take the big mouth and get him a muzzle, cause if I wanted big words, I'd do a crossword puzzle. I came to be entertained, not exercise my brain. Next time I'm better off attending a hockey game. What kind of name is Big Y, Little Y? You're naming yourself for some washed up tennis guy. Do you really wanna be deep and die broke? Knee deep in big words, surviving on slide jokes. It's high hopes without following the money. Forget the clever humor when a fart is still funny. Try to switch from art house to blockbuster. Less filet mignon and more ketchup and mustard. The reason why they tell you to dumb it down is to fill up the house when you come around. Cause now's not the time for intellectual heroes, so trade off the wit for a check with more zeros. The reason why they tell you to dumb it down, it's filling everyone's pockets when you come around. Cause now's not the time for an artist to innovate, so trade in your dreams for a steak on your dinner plate.
I could dumb it down by getting involved, change my style to what more people want and what it would solve. Send my promo to a show and hope my rep would precede it. Less intricate with concepts and change my name so you read it. I had a major label deal but it fell through. Make excuses to the core audience for it and tell you, if you think my shit's simplistic then you must be a hater. Going for a bigger fan base so I'll front like a skater.
I'm more than complex, but I keep my woods clean. I'm more than complex, but I keep my woods clean.
You can even, chant, make it more choruses, less verse sort of thing. Club type thing.
I think it's lots of fun playing with your brain, knowing that I'm a great rapper like Hurricane. I rule just like Ja, drink brew like ha-ha. Da 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 da, and then da da. People are stupid, Evan's an idiot. Rap is too good for you, and I don't pity it. I could be president, I could be pope. I'm dope, you know it, I'm dope.
The reason why they tell you to dumb it down is to fill up the house when you come around. Cause now's not the time for intellectual heroes, so trade off the wit for a check with more zeros. The reason why they tell you to dumb it down, it's filling everyone's pockets when you come around. Cause now's not the time for an artist to innovate. So trade in your dreams for a steak on your dinner plate.
Yeah, that's right. You're going in the right direction. Easy to understand. Understood the first time. You know, no one has a rewind button on their super download MP3 players these days. So just make it simple. Catch them the first time. All right, son, good job.
They say we got rights. Well, use them if you got them. Tell me how far you get before you view who's calling the shots. Just ask Scott, who rode his bike up the sidewalk. Got stopped by bike cops right at the stopwatch. Said he ought to put thought to rules and conduct of bicycles. That clearly states the illegalities in his traveling. He tried to talk to the officer, grappling with words to fill the gap in understanding. He tried to relate about how crazy traffic was in the area, and how he made attempts to abide with the law, but nearly met his fate in a hit and run. And way too many close encounters, but that didn't make his two state workers see straight and observe the real state of affairs. With a freedom to carry on as you must is restricted by layers of structures and mechanisms, barriers and set decisions unequally thought of. Got me caught up in my pessimism sometimes. I feel like the world is so unkind, with one trying to get ahead while another is punching eyes, keeping me blind but acting like they're on my side. Time and time again I end up feeling like no one's my friend. Now Scott gets imbalanced with drivers coming close to life and death situations. It's amazing he survives. Everyone blames the other instead of trying to change the laws and the road to recover. It's no wonder we're out of laws. We got rights. Well, use them if you got them. Tell me how far you get before you view who's calling the shots.
You got a problem, go tell customer service, because to serve and protect, you need to keep the public nervous. Fear is a greater weapon than physical force. It's more efficient, keep them guessing and never threaten directly. The constable constantly down to be corrupted monetarily, because a man can barely even survive on the salary ratified by the most recent session of our city council. Accounts will stay protected if the payment is collected cash only, and you won't get a receipt. So select your words with caution, cause my patience is at an all-time minimum, threatening life and limb. A grim way to exist this side of hysteria. Bury the poor soul who thought freedom was the theme of America. Actually it's every man for himself. Great wealth and a house in the Beverly Hills, and to that end I spills blood and sever the head of an enemy, then flee the crime scene cleverly, alter the evidence and never be suspected of such treachery. Keep it moving, these streets are my machine, and I keep them well run, and it don't stop till I turn in my badge and gun. There's another behind me, all ready to inherit. Tell me what your life's worth if you're asking me to spare it.
We got rights. Well, use them if you got them. Tell me how far you get before you view who's calling the shots.
I want a milkshake, make me one. I want a cheeseburger, make me one. I want a large fry, make me one. How long does it take for you to make me one? I'm dining on grease and collecting a game piece. It's minutes for a full meal, well one does never cease, and it only costs $5. Almost enough for an hour of labor by the guy behind the counter. What could be simpler than a smile and a backlit menu? Anywhere in the world, an identical venue, and they go through the greatest of pains to make certain that the food is always tasting the same. It's Arby's versus Wendy's, Coke versus Pepsi, McDonald's versus Burger King, the world versus Disney. Back in the 50s, they all made history by taking pride of the picture in the food that you served me. Dehumanize the worker in the name of efficiency. A vision of the revolution by Ray Kroc. Talks a good game, but does he walk it? 100 billion customers later, seems he's got it worked out. By his book, proceed to worship and spawn clones that can't see the trees for the forest. I don't know what bothers me more, the original or the imitators by the score. The decision that man makes to alter the landscape. Drive down the highway and it all looks so damn fake. The outskirts of Chicago look the same as Seattle. If this trend continues, then we'll never have to travel. Why bother? But every city offers the same thing. We knew it was coming, but now we can't stop the changing. Explaining this to you and I, who support them every time that we go through the drive-thru. I want a milkshake, make me one. I want a cheeseburger, make me one. I want a large fry, make me one. How long does it take for you to make me one?
milkshake and large fry. What do you want?
Flavor milkshake would you like?
Chocolate.
It's a Big Mac with large fries, forget about the tip. Get that fruit before Jesus gets back without the lip. You dipshit, let's make it quick and have a race while we eat. Can't believe you're not embarrassed when you walk down the street. Retarded meat in that paper bag you proudly hold. By the time you get home, I hope your fries get cold. We're open late at 4 a.m., a 30-second guarantee. Any longer argue with the manager and get it free. BK's got the guy from a different world eating a Whopper. Pepsi's got Wycliffe and MC Hammer saying proper in the studio. Cliff couldn't hit Bix till he zipped his pop. Eating a Frosty, watching the Star Channel to get off. Let off a couple rounds up in the nearest McDick's. Trying to hit the ketchup pump. Straw dispensers on the fritz. 10 bits stuck in throat and it was written on your grave. Complain about the service, you've been cursed by a slave. They've taken the deep fryer and they're coming for the till. Orphan down a registered trademark in Brazil. Hold the deal, pickle, onion, and I'm right at home. The nutrition equivalent of poison and packing foam. These are the drug dealers pushing at our kids with junk. Riding around with a dead clown's body in the trunk. Labor animals, pollution, health that makes me bitter. Pat Skeen will say, follow the litter.
I want large Coke and real.
cause I ain't a Briton. Got 2 stiff fingers for you to sit on. His face saying you gypped me in this place would be a blatant disgrace to gypsies. Smith so hip I'm famous on Osborne. Ships greens quit VE where I used to hawk porn. Now I rock for the leafy green like ivy. Got scorned, don't try to deny me. We'll lock horns, I'm not warm. In fact I got a cold shoulder for websites that don't pay and shiesty promoters. Yelling at Roddy, he ain't hard of hearing. No free beer for the homies, then the homies sneaking beer in. So save the cheering for after I show these schmucks Joe sick as a shit. So come on, y'all.
Fuck you, pay me, I ain't here to make friends. I like Suge Knight's business sense. Fuck you, pay me, I ain't here to make friends. I like Suge Knight's business sense. Fuck you, pay me, I ain't here to make friends. I like Suge Knight's business sense. Fuck you, pay me, I ain't here to make friends. I like Suge Knight's business sense.
Time to get the dough like my name was Suge Knight. It's time to get money, time to get money. Time to get the dough like my name was Suge Knight.
I'll imitate Suge Knight and hang your ass over the terrace. The devil made me do it and his agent was Paris. You were careless to think the music's at your disposal. Saved by this creative outlet in which I'm vocal. Going loco on stage yelling Free C murder. Hip-hop is filled with cranky rednecks just like a word. I heard a story about a guy, he keeps our money as his own. It pisses me off, but some of the elements hit home. Like first the people that owe him need to come correct. They got a grip of cash, but live too far to collect. Get to sign these checks and make them out to right. I'll find more if need be, but out of places to hide the bodies. Working 6 straight while someone's fucking with my royalty. Just cause someone's hip-hop doesn't mean that they have loyalty. So I'ma shave my head and leave the beard. Put on a few pounds for respect. One of the most feared, it's like you're geared towards annoying all 5 members, but didn't start this fire. You're just stoking the embers. In defense, with martial arts, Gruf in his black sash, trained to keep the peace, but ready to kick some ass. In defense, for money in an armored truck. I can't fight, but I'm telling you, I'm crazy as fuck. In defense, bad checks, it's sent out sleazy. I'll burn your business down, decision process is easy. In defense, take a piss on your fruity website. It's like sludge forcing D-Nice to run that red light. Good night.
Time to get the dough like my name was Suge Knight. It's time to get money. Time to get the dough like my name was Suge Knight.
Fuck you, pay me, I ain't here to make friends. I like Suge Knight's business sense. Fuck you, pay me, I ain't here to make friends. I like Suge Knight's business sense. Fuck you, pay me, I ain't here to make friends. I like Suge Knight's business sense. Fuck you, pay me, I ain't here to make friends. I like Suge Knight's business sense.
Took me out on the balcony, started talking to me personally. He had me look over the edge, show me how high I was up there. You're scared. I needed to wear a diaper on that day.
Time to get the dough like my name was Suge Knight. It's time to get time to get the dough like my name was Suge Knight. Tell him hurry up, give up the loot. Give up the loot. Give up the loot. Give up the loot that they owe us. Give up the loot that they owe us. Give up the loot that they owe us.
Pumas and fat laces don't come cheap. I pass on the hottest gear because the price is steep. And ever since the day that I prepaid shipping, it's you who is responsible for my well-being. Seeing that I sent you PNC in good faith. Why is it that you treat me like cheap date sweet? Talk me up all about the places that you're taking me, but you won't return my calls and your fakeries. No, now I'm taking the fall, explaining you as the reason why the royalties are small. The rappers who charge me trust my judgment, depend on me largely and live on a budget. Resort to dumb threats and ties that sever on the invoice I wrote net 30, not net never. In hindsight, dealing with you was not clever, but I'm an optimist. I thought that things would get better, but now I talk shit and write your name in bathrooms.
Service in English, press 1. Part 2.
No ripples in the pond, just nipples on the pond. As we're sitting by the pool, sipping Dom Perignon. We're just a bunch of patriots living the promise of the American dream in Park Avenue. Avenue dominance. The dominoes fell, and for us it went well. We bomb them to hell, never kiss and then tell, never miss and then tell, never admit that we're human. As the innocence fell, no cameras were zoomed in. The casualties swell without mashes, laugh track. Before the body's cold, smell the cash of contracts. Dirty money for the first 30 buddies. All the president's men seem to be served up lovely, and the facts play low in the ratings. Meanwhile, the taxpayers blowing their savings. Do your part, buy dryers and Hemis. Invest in a pair of breasts, flyer than demis. This thing called credit moves, gold is the standard. A war paid for by our grandkids' grandkids. Are we worried about the message and the reason it sends? Only seeing to the end the last season of Friends. What's up, W? What the heck you doing? Screwing things up, my man. The State of the Union's now known for fooling. Don't neglect to mention about the road to ruin. And if we go down, we're taking you with us, with the thunderous sound behind our murderous wishes. Cause if we can't win the game, we're not playing. Can't admit we're not the same, we're not saying. Pretend that there's no better friend of the land. Content for a solution with our heads in the sand. Rockets may launch and the satellites spin, but we execute children, starving by the millions. Promise a way out by arming the minions. Send them to die to those who harm the Dominion. If it all fails, more lies a way to get in again. The tall tales told by Casey and Finnegan. As a people, have we even thought to push? Or are we gonna bow down now to Emperor Bush? I say no, what do you say? In my building at all. I look away if I run into them in the hall. I pay my rent by debit to an agency overseas, and I never spend my money at the neighborhood grocery. I work in an office on the other side of town. Every day I drive my car and never sacrifice the sound of my stereo system. The single occupant rocking it, lead foot, 2 hours round trip. Never heard of public transit. When it's time to fill up, you can bet that I'm paying at the pump on credit. Set it straight, get it now? Never wait, my generation bred online and filmed entirely on location. And as always, sedation is encouraged. If you haven't had a hit, then I guess you're malnourished. Be a tourist in your own town and rediscover the fun of downtown, made to look like the suburbs. Another great feature that we're proud to present. Televisions everywhere, never lacking entertainment. And don't mind while we triple the rent and convince you to subscribe to a brand new containment. Sometimes I think I must have been cloned. Never spend a single dollar in a store that's locally owned. And nobody owns, we just rent, cause we can't afford a house, so we're stuck in an apartment. I went down to the corner store to get myself a soda, and it was locked up. I will not shop a certain way to satisfy your quota. I won't be locked up. I went down to the corner store to get myself a soda, and it was locked up. I will not act a certain way to satisfy your quota. When I was a kid, I used to go to the store for candy in my neighborhood. Used to count on my pennies and save up for some bubble gum. A bottle of soda, look under the cap for a free one and take that bottle back for the deposit. Back when they were made of glass, I would visit after school or if I didn't have a class. And the owner worked every day behind the counter, and he would never be rich, but he did it for the power to make his own decisions and support his family. I think his daughter was 1 or 2 grades ahead of me, and he would close up the shop to coach in the Little League. And when you went to his store, you helped your community. But lo and behold, there's a new tide economic. It's called the franchise. Some sides say demonic. This new religion is brand recognition. The consumer views the independent business with suspicion. So the store went under, and the owner split with his wife and lived life a loner, working for a company for minimum wage. He rents an apartment and he waits to get paid. Sometimes I think I must have been cloned. Never spend a single dollar in a store that's locally owned. And nobody owns, we just rent, cause we can't afford a house, so we're stuck in an apartment. I went down to the corner store to get myself a soda, and it was locked up. I will not shop a certain way to satisfy your quota. I won't be locked up. I went down to the corner store to get myself a soda, and it was locked up. I will not act a certain way to satisfy your quota. What they used to be, working in the factory, going to the picture show, listen to the radio, and it was okay not to know. Buy for your family, buy a big house and live together happily, from birth to the funeral, and it was okay not to know. Things ain't what they used to be. Working in the factory, going to the picture show, listen to the radio, but it was okay not to know, not to know. Life was in black and white, and people knew wrong from right, and kids never stayed out all night. And a tough day at the office meant an extra call or two, and you knew all of your neighbors, and your neighbors knew you. And if you read it in the paper, then it had to be true. And you voted for your mayor, and you had no world dues. And if your country went to war, you'd sign up in a minute, and you'd give your life and more to protect the people in it. And that knock at the door is probably not a sales call, is it? Just a visitor saying hello, or the town physician. Back when a house call was possible for the average citizen, and the difference between the poor and rich was just a stitch. The working man felt like a prince. There was no such thing as a cynic or pessimist. We never let anything get the best of us, and everybody read books and had discussions, and people ate properly enough for substance, and no one had heart attacks, cancer, or AIDS, and people furnished their homes with things that they made. Is this really how it was, or am I being naive? I can't believe that it wasn't better before I was conceived. Is it overpopulation or too much technology, or is life better today than it's been for centuries? If I knew about the past, I could make a comparison, bet my grandparents know, but I'm so used to ignoring them, and my instinct is telling me to change. You can't change direction if you don't know where you're headed in the first place. Ain't what they used to be, working in the factory, going to the picture show, listen to the radio, and it was okay not to know, for your family, buy a big house and live together happily, from birth to the funeral, and it was okay not to know, things ain't what they used to be, working in the factory, going to the picture show, listen to the radio, but it was okay not to know, I pledged my allegiance in the summer of '92. Becca and the Soul Brothers sealed the deal. Before that I was a casual listener, but I kept my guard up cause it didn't seem real. I always knew I would be a musician. At age 6 I knew all the words to Elton John. I played air guitar like Eddie Van Halen, though I couldn't get my hair cut like David Lee Roth. I stayed up late just for Friday night videos, back when videos were cool, no matter what the song. And I'd vote for the top 10 on AM radio, which hardly ever changed. You could always sing along, and my mom, dad, and I could agree on a record to play on a road trip, but that would change. I was down with Doobie Brothers and Hall & Oates, Duran Duran, Michael Jackson, and a host of other names. But along came guys like Bryan Adams, and the audience got older, so things got soft. After the invention of the power ballad, it was time for this team to turn his radio off. So I rode to the skate park in silence till one day RK had the words "Dead Kennedys" on his briefcase. When I inquired, he said I wouldn't like it, but instead they remain one of my favorite bands to this day. And I was welcome to a world I never knew. Most of these bands were beyond obscure. They had to make their recordings for themselves, so it sounded kinda rough, but the music was pure. But nothing stays the same forever, and punk became alternative and audiences grew. And I went from Descendants to Smashing Pumpkins, but by the second Lollapalooza I had to find something new.
Paga da fora sofre nube. Paga da fora sofre nube. Paga da fora sofre nube. Paga da fora sofre nube.
If you like punk rock, then you knew Public Enemy, and of course De La Soul and the Beastie Boys. But I mostly thought rap was a kind of commercial that was used to sell chicken and children's toys. We used to dance to Dinosaur Jr., and when Hammer came on, we would head out to the hallway. But after Becca and the Soul Brother hit me, it was all rap, only rap, just rap all day. I had to get everything in my collection, so Pippi and Honeycutt gave me dubs. Never enough just to be the critic, so making beats and writing rhymes became my love. We started farm fresh and played with anybody, punk rock, hip hop, folk and country. We thought we could sign to a major label, so we played for A&Rs, but we came up empty. I kept it low key while I got my degree, and never thought of doing it seriously. And I worked full time in a shirt and tie, and on the side made a record called The Ethics EP. It was fun, but also a business, which started to require more and more time. In 01, we released 5 albums, and soon I was no longer on the corporate dime. Being self-employed is a dream come true, where every day of freedom seems better than the next. But I'm starting to believe that, I'm starting to forget that hip-hop is more than just cashing checks. And I wanna stay the fan, I get every new release, but they're starting to move me less and less. And when I'm working on the books, I listen to classic rock and look at this art form and wonder what's next.
Paga da fora sofre nube. Paga da fora sofre nube. Paga da fora sofre nube. Paga da fora sofre nube.
Hip-hop has taught me so much about music. Without it, I would not be a fan of Al Green. And I truly believe in the music my friends make. I've accepted that will never be part of the mainstream. I'm grateful that I'm able to put food on the table, and I'm glad I found an audience for me to maintain. But I want that feeling from Mecca and the Soul Brother. Wonder if I ever have that feeling again.
Paga da fora sofre nube. 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 Paga da fora sofre nube.
Like Harper's, incognito, mystery shoppers. Get my propers in position. A sign at the door says gone fishing. Shish kebab 'em with no problem. It's the raw shit, get heads bobbing. Titties knocking, bodies moving. A lot of you been caught abusing tabs and hits. Not tonight. The only high is to rock the mic. Anybody, everybody, karaoke, every party might as well light it up. Just might be as tight as us. The way it's going, what the hell? Press a single, it might just sell. You can't do if they can't do it. Everybody making music, whole wide world breaking new shit, sweating hard and shaking to it. Just imagine equal billing, no one dying, no one killing, no one biting, no one jocking. Throw the mic and blow the spot. Then go, 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 go. Party people in the place you are. Party people in the place to be. Party people in the place you were. Party people if you facing me. Throw 2 hands up to the stars. Lick 2 shots for who you are. No, you can't is what you do. Do it like it's all you knew.
Party people on cellular phones while I play modern day Jupiter Jones. Solving a mystery using deduction. Always unofficially just for fun, son. Trying to get people here interested. Trying to get good times resurrected. Use what you have to get into it. Paint your toenails with correction fluid. Get an off stop for the photocopies. Hang up posters and offer in lobbies. Pump curtains blow in the elevator. Teach your boss how to be a player. Teach your dad the words to plug tune in. Form that shit at the family reunion. Show a judge that instead of lawsuits, both sides battle and it's winner take all. Show your barber how Search had his haircut. Tell the rock show to shut that shit. Find the DJ, show him how to scratch. Put him in a group with clothes that match. Give him a name with fresh up posse. Find a mailman and make him an MC. Play in the park till he never complains. Say go ahead, Palm, try and stop me. It won't be long till cops get there. Tell them to put their hands in the air. Nothing will make the crowd get hyper. Sing a pig dance to Peter Piper. We'll get off the political jock. Before every game we'll play the Planet Rock. Party people now gotta represent. Last thing we do, impeach the president.
Go, 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 go. Party people in the place you are. Party people in the place to be. Party people in the place you were. Party people if you facing me. Throw two hands up to the stars. Lick two shots for who you are. Know you can is what you do. Do it like it's all you knew.